Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's coming through. I do apologize for changing the time and everything. I'm also like looking at the news, guys, and it just like it's getting so overwhelming to hear about these fires everything that's happening. Shout out to everybody coming through, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Everybody. Let me share and let everybody know we're live. We are live now. Come over here. Now, I think we need to let's just start talking about these fires. Oh my goodness. So there's you can't hear me? Can't hear you? Can't hear me? Okay. Can you hear me? Hold up. Testing. Testing. Can you hear me? You hear just fine? Okay. Some folks, last one, and let me know if you can still have problems because I want to make sure it's not me. I see that the mic is okay. But everybody come through. Listen, I did a stream yesterday. It was a vertical stream. And it was literally just to kind of like go through some of the news sources. I couldn't be on camera. So it's kind of on the bottom and I was listening and I was engaging with you guys in the chat. We might do one of those tonight too, just to let it run. And, hopefully, like I did get like a copy claim or whatever. I mean, that does happen because I'm not really changing the content. I'm literally like restreaming news and I have to be careful. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're getting out there and we're getting however many sources. I also want to collect whatever resources and information that there is out there so that we can share it. But I'm literally like, I'm looking, shout out to everybody on the Discord who's kind of keeping us up to date. Guys, shout out to Sylvia, Tinkle Tits, so many folks out there that are in the area. Hold up. Let me let everybody know in the Discord we live. Everyone, we live now. I had a pretty busy day today. Otherwise, I would have ran another like stream like that, but it was pretty busy for me today. Welcome everybody. For those that are coming through, guys, thank you so much for your patience as I was, dealing with baby bunny. Everyone, we live now. So I might do another vertical late night stream. I think that was helpful. Some folks really liked it in the chat. Shout out to Pinche Becky. Pinche Becky's in the LA area. I was watching a little bit of Streets. There's just way too much going on. No, Cheeks, there is no. Unfortunately, we can't do I wish there was subscriber mode only on vertical. Like literally, we just had the craziest trolls, but it's expected on vertical. You just never know what you get. Did I get demonetized? I didn't get demonetized. I got a claim, which means that I had to fix the stream. What happens in streams like that, I have to be careful because typically I have to give commentary to things. And I mean, I'm literally playing different things and interacting in the chat. And so I have to be very careful. But I mean, this is important. So I might run one. I might run one tonight if you guys want to meet up and be in the chat and hang out. But you won't see a lot of interaction from me because I got to tend to baby bunny. I got to leave it running. I have to do a bunch of things, so I can't always engage in the chat, but I do my best. Yeah, I know, Amanda. Aren't the vertical trolls like the worst? They always be coming in with some bullshit. Like that's the thing that really gets to me. Yes, Surgeon Michael, okay, too. Michael was bringing his pet products to the relief center. And you know what? I didn't even hold up, y'all. I'm gonna reach out. Hopefully Surge is doing okay. Hope you're doing well. And other folks out there, I don't have everybody's number. I know we have family over there, so we've kind of been like inundated with different things that have been happening. But what is happening, it's just like I'm trying to figure out. So, like, they're saying that they're running low on water. Los Angeles fires leaves firefighters and water supply overwhelmed. Okay, good, Amanda. I'm so glad to hear that. I just messaged Serge. Hopefully he gets it. Because he's in that area. Shout out to Streets, Jessica Palmadessa, anybody, Pinche Becky, who else is out there that does the protesting? Y'all drop those names in there. Shout out to them, and I hope that they're staying safe because it's getting a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and I thought, all right, like, I knew it wasn't going to be contained. There was no way with all those winds that was happening. Thank you, Laura FM as well. Shout out to her. Hopefully they're staying safe as well. Shout out to her. Thank you. Okay, we'll do Chico. You can cut subs on only vertical, but it sort of defeats the purpose because the point is to get more subs. Gotcha, Chico. Okay, gotcha, Chico. I mean, I'll see what I can do. You know what I mean? I'm literally on vertical. It's just me literally just running the news source like we did with the Menendez brothers just to bring the information. I don't expect to make any at all because it just doesn't, for me, my audience is more like on a horizontal. I feel like that's where I get a lot more engagement. The reservoirs were not filled. They were not refilled. This is just crazy. So, Los Angeles fires leaves firefighters and water supply overwhelmed. This is literally written 2 hours ago by the BBC. As firefighters battled infernos, the Los Angeles area for a second day, their struggle with water supplies to their hose and hydrants. Firefighters, unaccustomed to fighting multiple blazes at once, were overwhelmed by flames. Let me just say something, you guys. Thank you so much, Didi, for supporting my channel, love. Look, let me say something, y'all. I don't get it. First of all, California is like dry as hell. All right. Let me just say that. Okay. There is a lot of poor management that's happening here. But honestly, I feel like, look, when the Maui fire situation happened, I personally felt like, wait a minute, it was really, really bad. And it seems like we always go through this in a community where you can be as prepared as you want to be, but you're never prepared enough. Then you have these government officials that are just unequipped, not well funded to deal with things like this. Like you would think that there would be some level of preparation, and we find out how negligent these people are. That's what happened in Maui. That's what happened. And it was so bad because literally people were trapped. It's a little island. And it's not like you can just jump on in the ocean because even debris was being carried through the water. It was really bad. People lost their lives. And there was so much information out there. Like you had government. I'll never forget. You had it was a Mayor Bison, and you had the chief of police. People resigning left to right, like right after the tragedy. It was way too much, and people just passing the buck. Oh, it was his fault because they were supposed to do this. It was their fault because and then they caused this whole like bottle cap situation in the traffic. People were getting trapped in their properties. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yes. Last Ronin, the Maui was an issue with the electric company shutting off the power, then doing repairs, and then not realizing that there was more downlines than the powers was brought up, causing fires. Last Ronin, was it you who said in my chat about PG&E, or was it, thank you, abuses of Scientology? PG&E, the power company, also probably not on top of their tree trimming. That's part of their job, y'all. Underground power should be the norm. Absolutely. It's always like they're always passing the buck, and they're always like, well, we didn't know what's going on. I'm telling you, because when we talked about the Maui fires here on this channel, it was like that. It was like people couldn't get their shit together, and they just passed the buck to everybody. Now here I don't understand, how is it like if there's a resource that we need to have, is water, right? But here they're overwhelmed. Officials detailed on Wednesday morning how the fires had strained the city's water supply. How? Asking residents to conserve water usage and noting that the water quality diminished as the system was pushed to its limits. Okay. We're fighting a wildfire with urban water systems. That is really challenging. Okay, now let me see. Let me go down. The water system in Los Angeles are for urban use. She explained homes and businesses are not large firefighting efforts, with the city and county do not typically face. So it's almost like they weren't prepared for a wildfire to spread, so much so that it would hit the urban areas of certain cities and whatnot. This is crazy. Corrine, I am so sorry. Corrine says, I lost absolutely everything. I'm really sorry to hear that. And people are. And like I said, there are resources in my community wall that you guys can go check out, because I believe they're actually getting things going to make sure that people are set up one way or another, whether it's through housing, clothing, something needs to happen. Absolutely. Thank you, Abuses of Scientology. Please have an alternate way, an alternative way to means to contact a loved one. Absolutely. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. And hold up, Dee Dee, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Hold up, love. Let me do a little reaction to this, because it's what happens when I rearrange my desktop, y'all. Sorry. Thank you, love. Ooh, okay, there we go. Thank you, Dee Dee. You need to, yeah, we gotta have more resources out there, though. A lot of people are losing things. There is this horrible, and I think it was like a viral video, like people and their pets. Guys, what? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe seeing some of the. I just couldn't watch it after a while. I said I can't watch people like, please don't lock up your pets. Like, please take them with you. Do so. Like, these are domesticated animals that need to be with their owners. That's what they need to do. Like, come on now. It's so crazy to hear how pets are kind of being left and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? He said, well, in the case, those property taxes are taxpayers losing too. It's so much. And like, right now, listen, people is going to do what they're going to do. But apparently there's been a lot of celebrities that have lost their homes. You know, yeah, they have the expensive homes. I don't want anybody losing their homes. But at the end of the day, that should tell you, you guys, it doesn't matter if your house is, however much it's worth. It only takes a fire to seriously demolish properties, and you're done. You're done. Right? Like, it takes a fire to really just tear down property, to really just do the most. And I started thinking, I said, people, all these gossip columns that are talking about all these celebrities losing their homes. Can y'all focus on the people that don't? Like, you got the homeless population out here. Clearly they don't have homes, but come on now. What about everybody else that's lost something? Like, it's so weird to, we're going to focus on, so and so lost their home. Okay, yes, it's expected. Like, it's a fire. It's an absolute fire, right? Natural disasters do not discriminate. Like, what are we doing? And you're right, Kim. Like, it doesn't matter, the wealth or the elite lose their home in a fire, because they will get it replaced by insurance companies. They'll still have money at the end of the day. And I mean, I'm sorry, but like, for me, I'm about my people. Like, I'm not rich. I'm sure some of you guys are not. We are doing what we can. But honestly, like, I'm not worried about, the good looking people in Hollywood losing their homes, when there's people out there that don't have homes, that are losing their lives, that are being rescued from nursing homes. I'm sorry, I'm just not, because they have a way of replacement. Their insurance companies will figure it out. It's just really hard. Right. The missus, it's hard for me to feel sorry for celebrities. They can afford to rebuild or buy another, or they probably already have. Right. Like, if there's one thing that this, country has shown us, is that people will have more of everything and one of everything, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. Thank you. Ronan, I didn't read it, but Sylvia mentioned it in the Discord about the insurance. The insurance is like freaking joke. No insurance was canceled for fire protection weeks ago. And then I heard the outrage here about this too, that it was pretty bad too. We should all do our best to be prepared for any disaster and do our best to help our fellow people when it strikes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Amanda. Thank you for saying this. Yes, once they passed the law, it was a green light for me. I just don't know, you guys. It is all too weird how all of this is happening. So no insurance was canceled for fire protection weeks ago for 100 people. It's crazy. You all need to come together and help each other, says Carrie. Who needs to come together and help? Yes, if you are in the area, I mean, there's a lot of volunteers that I know of currently. So thank you, Carrie, for that. They have the large choppers in the air now dumping water. Now, what are the winds doing though? Because if you guys remember yesterday when we were talking about this in the chat, they couldn't even get the choppers going because the winds were just way too much. Y'all remember that? So, I mean, I do wonder, do they now have the actual choppers? There was drones that they couldn't be flown. There's a lot that couldn't be flown. It is very scary to have a fire in your home. It happened to our family home growing up from lightning, and it didn't burn down entire home. Insurance cover it, but it was pretty eerie. I mean, it's scary. When especially when lightning. Oh my god. When a house catches on fire because of lightning or there's a tree, oh, it's like the scariest thing that could happen. The budget for firefighting is $199 million and will gradually increase in the future. you know, I just don't get it. Like things like fire, California is like a hub for disasters all the time. You got earthquakes, tsunami situation. Didn't we just have a tsunami like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? We just had one, right? Like that was the whole war. We talked about that here. These are things that I'm like, how are we preparing for things like this? What's going on? Fires should be a must for every state. There should be like, I don't understand. Fires, earthquakes, what else? Tsunamis, major disasters. I mean, we should be doing better to protect. And the winds were like hurricane winds, right? It's so interesting to me to see all of this kind of go down. Don't the weather people know in advance with the technology? Why wasn't any warning? That's a great question. I mean, that's why we have like natural disaster teams and stuff like that to help for things like this. I'm just saying, you guys, and you know what, Kim? Let me just say this. This is a lesson. Like it never, it just doesn't surprise me, y'all. Okay. Everybody here in the chat, y'all survived the Y2K. And that was just pure hysteria, right? Let's be real. But I don't think people really prepared for anything until like Y2K was something that literally taught, like I knew family in my own family, we didn't have a computer when when Y2K was around, okay? But Y2K taught us like you can get into the hysteria of things, but prevention is probably the best method. Hey, B Tim. So that's kind of where I saw like a lot of people being more preventative about, hey, we need to be prepared. We need to do different things. It amazes me that like people in that era don't really like us. We don't really seem to understand how important it is to just be prepared. Get your little bag, have your little IDs, like have things prepared. That's it. Thank you, Rabbit. The LA mayor cut the firefighters' budget by 17 to 20 million in the last few months. And here we are. And here we are. They literally got a 10-minute warning. By the time they discovered the fires, it was already spreading to 300. This is pissing a lot of people off, y'all. This is no joke. Like, oh my God. But this is the kind of stuff, it's like we really like aren't prepared. What's going on? And they're now evacuating the Hollywood Hills. Why now? Oh my goodness. The wealthy losing their homes are only losing one of their multiple homes. They'll be okay. This is the point that I was making. I'm like, typically, and I don't wish anything like that to anybody. Please note that. Like, I don't want anybody to lose their home, but to me, I'm more concerned about us who maybe only own one house, who maybe only own, one or two homes or a home that we worked our asses off. Us, the non-Kim Kardashians, us, the non-Hollywood people, the regular folks of this country. That's what I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about if Sylvester Stallone or, I'm thinking out loud, all these other celebrities lost their home. They'll be fine. They lost more than one. They'll figure that out. I'm more worried about the regular people like us, you know? That's how I feel. But I don't know what y'all think. What do you guys think? I'm just saying. Anyways, so officials, let's see. Official detail on Wednesday morning how the fires had strained the city's water supply, asking residents to conserve water usage, noting that water quality diminished as the system was pushed to its limits. We're fighting a wildfire with urban water systems that is really challenging. Okay, we read that. The water system in Los Angeles are for urban use. She said that surprised me, that comment. And then I'm hearing also that there was cuts as far as how, budgets and stuff like that for fires because they weren't expecting that a fire could spread. Huh? Y'all didn't listen to Smokey the Bear, right? What did Smokey the Bear say? Don't you start forest fires? Like, there's one thing I understood in kindergarten, okay? I remember that, okay? Just like only you can prevent forest fires. I don't know why I took that education with me out of everything that I remember, of course. And then, drug abuse resistance education. That's the Cali education. I'm just so surprised. And like, isn't that what they taught us? That thing can spread? Only you can prevent the fire. They're right. Jenny, tell them. And they're right. Smokey was right. We are the ones that can prevent forest fires. You know what? I think that's the only thing that I remember as in my childhood. Smokey the Bear. And here you have mayors cutting budgets. So what? What? One thing that Smokey said is, yeah, thank you. Also, stop, drop, and roll. This is, thank you. That's our generation. A lot of these people don't know about Smokey. They don't. They really, really, I mean, it's like funny, but not funny because it's like, there's a prevention avenue here that you would think that these people would have like, y'all not listen? What's going on? Okay, whatever. LA County Fire Chief Anthony, is it Marone, acknowledged that the county and its 24 departments were also not built for this scale of disaster. Whew. And there's not enough firefighters in all of LA County to address 4 separate fires of this magnitude. So are they going to start sending firefighters from other counties? Like, are they going to start asking for support from other states? Because this is literally a disaster. Look at Sylvia. Y'all drop some hearts for Sylvia. Sylvia, let us know if you're still doing okay. We just want to know. Okay, we were just talking about you and Tinkle. I don't know where Tinkle's at. Hope Tinkle's doing okay. You saw the Smokey the Bear in Australia. Have they named any? Because I know that they've named deaths already. And now I have a question. What about the people that are incarcerated? What are they going to do there? You can't leave them at the fucking prison. I mean, listen, I do want to know, what are they going to do with the people that are incarcerated? Because, I mean, this thing is like stretching all over, right? What are they doing with the incarcerated folks? Does anybody know? Okay, Amanda said, I heard about chatter about Vegas, FD, and AZ coming through. They need to get people from, they need to get the National Guard and everything. They made calls to other departments. So what are you gonna do? Like transfer them out? This is like what? I'm sort of like those prisons are made out of concrete. Well, can it burn? Deborah says, let them out to control the fire and minimize their sentence. I don't know about that, but I mean, I just have questions. Okay, so Vegas people are coming over to help. Thank you, thank you. Sylvia's still good. Says Tinkle is in San Diego, I believe. I messaged Tinkle this morning. Tinkle said that he was doing fine, but I do wonder about that. I mean, that would be interesting. So they're going to transfer them from departments? Okay, Rabbit, it's routine for firefighters from other areas to be sent for other states and zones. I think that would make sense. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Like, this is like intense. So LA County Fire Chief said this. They're not ready. They were prepared for 1 or more 2 brush fires, but not all 4, the chief said. Fire officials have responded to 3,624 calls since the fire broke out. The department's average is under 1,500 in about a 24-hour period. Emergency services were also deployed to another 32 structure fires in the city. This is like crazy. That's like they got what, twice the amount of calls in one day? I mean, I want to know what's going on. Mambo DVS, your Ali Carter says it's the Getty. Okay, thank you for the $2, Mambo. We just weren't talking about Ali Carter right now, but thank you, love. I do see it. I see you. Thank you, thank you. I just didn't click it yet. It's a water shortage more than people shortage. Mm-mm-mm. No, it was not. It was not. I just showed it. It's there. Thank you. Early news reports show first not burning concrete buildings. Reporters even mentioned. Huh. That's interesting. That is interesting. Have they got normal? No, they were going through a drought too. My understanding. Okay. So they have a lot of calls. The LH fire chief, Anthony, acknowledged that the county and its 24 departments were also not built to address the scale of that disaster. They were prepared for one or two brush fires, but not all four. Fire officials have responded to all those calls. Okay, emergency services were deployed into another 32 structures of the city. The water availability was impacted at higher elevations, which affected some fire hydrants due to the limited replenishment of water tanks in the area. Oh my God. Customers have been asked to conserve water as the fire in the Palisades area, now the most destructive in the LA's history, pushed the system to the extreme with 4 times the normal demand for 15 hours straight. The U.S. Navy has deployed 10 helicopters with water buckets, while air units with the California and Nevada Air National Guard are expected to fight the Palisades fires. So we have to look at our system for climate resiliency as a region, and it's going to be more than just us. It's all in the water agencies here. Goodness. Says, yes, also air support, right? Sylvia says, thank you, Sylvia, for the 1999. The reason we are short firefighters is because they fired a lot of them when they refused to take the COVID shot. I can attest to this. Hold up. Sylvia, thank you for this. Okay. When the hold up. Let me I don't know why. Can you I don't have time for the trolls right now. I'm like my patience is this much. Sylvia, I'm so glad you brought this up because when I worked in government was around the time that COVID hit. And what happened was either you take the shot or you get fired. I had to take the shot. A lot of people had to take the shot, and a lot of people were let go because they refused to take the shot. So I remember this. So what happened to all those people because they were forced to take the vaccine? Now, let's be careful because the other side to this is the COVID situation is back and forth. People have said, well, now this is what's going on. But I'm letting y'all know in real life experience what happened to me. I had to take it or I was going to lose my job. And I was not ready to walk away from my job. But this is a good point. Government officials, people that worked in government at the time, were made to take the shot. These firefighters are considered that, right? So if they didn't take the shot, they would have been let go. And some folks just said, fuck it, I'm not taking the shot. And we lost school teachers, firefighters, professionals. It did happen. But you're absolutely right, Sylvia. So I do wonder, we lost a lot of people in the workforce because of that. Thank you for the 1999 love. I mean, and y'all can, disagree with it, agree with it. I'm just letting you know what I've experienced because I saw it firsthand. Thank you. All right. Let me ask you guys a question, okay? We have a lot of topics to discuss, and I definitely feel like the fires are precedents. And I'm gonna bring it up again. I'll probably do like a little vertical stream. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to get into the politics. Thank you, Suzanne. I don't do politics here. I'm just letting y'all know real life experience that would happen, okay? At least from what I saw. We can continue talking about the fires. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But I also have other topics that we got to get into and I want to bring this, like, I'm trying to balance everything out and also being considerate of time. Where do you guys stand? Do you guys want to keep talking about the fire situation? I have to get through. We have to talk about Liam Payne's autopsy, Jayz, Luigi Mangioni, and Diddy. I mean, there's other topics that we have to talk about. I can cruise through them real quick. Y'all ride with me. Let's do this. Where do you guys want to do? Let me know in the chat. Hurry up. Hurry up. Tell me what y'all want to do. And then we can get back to the fires and then continue and finish off with the fires. I need to know, where do you guys stand with this? I don't want to write a poll. So the first, roll with it. Okay, let's roll with it. All right, I'm going to roll fast with all these topics that I have. I can do these topics in like 10 minutes. Y'all ready? Okay. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said go, 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 and then we'll return to the fire. Thank you. Stephanie's like, Liam. Yes. All right, we gonna talk. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody from the Liam Payne fan base. We did have some breaking news. Let's move on to that right now. We did have some breaking news with Liam Payne, and I'm working on a much shorter video because there's another thing that I need to talk about when it comes to this. Okay. So Liam Payne had a second autopsy, and it concluded, right, that he suffered multiple traumas from this balcony fall. And I use this fall loosely because even though the autopsy says that he suffered multiple traumas, could that have happened before the fall? Before the push? Before the placement? Before the throwing over? What happened exactly? Because I have a lot of questions about this, honestly. Liam Payne's cause of death confirmed in UK inquest after One Direction star suffered multiple traumas in balcony fall. Okay. Yeah. What injuries came first? Shout out to Kim. That's more where my mind kind of went. I'm going to be honest with you guys. What injuries came first when it came to this? Because I have a lot of questions. All right. And that's kind of where my mind went when I heard this. Liam Payne's cause of death has been confirmed in the opening of a UK inquest into his tragic passing. It comes after the One Direction star suffered multiple traumas in a fall from a balcony at a luxury Buenos Aires hotel he was staying at in October. Okay. So far, this is what we know. His medical cause of death was confirmed by Dr. Roberto Victor Cohen as polytrauma. I'm so tired of hearing the word poly. Poly drug use, polytrauma, poly. I cannot. I'm just letting you guys know. Meaning multiple traumatic injuries. The hearing was held in a coroner's court on December 17th. It was told that it may take some time to formally confirm how the 31-year-old died. So many traumas, but we don't know how he died exactly. That's interesting. Okay. The inquest into Liam's death in the UK has now been adjourned until a pre-inquest review on November 6th. The coroner's court said 5 people have been charged over the death of Liam Payne. We know this. The hotel manager, a receptionist, a friend of Payne has been charged with manslaughter. An Argentinian National Criminal and Correctional Prosecutor Office previously said in a statement that they are reported to be hotel manager Gilda Martin, receptionist Esteban Grassi, and Liam's friend, Rogelio Nores. Now, by the way, Rogelio Nores has decided to take the "it's a witch hunt." Okay? There's some articles out there that basically Rogelio Nores is feeling like this is a witch hunt for him too. Says a person that was able to get a much lower sentence, right? Says a person that initially lied and misinformed the public about what his role was in Liam Payne's life, right? Like he could also be a friend and the manager. Yeah, no, bro. No, bro. No. He said that there is a witch hunt for him. He said it. He said the witches are hunting. On social media, everywhere, there's a witch hunt for me. I'm like, wait a minute. You too? But you got your sentence lowered. You got the 2 drug dealers that, wait a minute, weren't even there. At least one of them wasn't when he died. And you feel like this is a witch hunt for you and you got your sentence lowered? Oh, the audacity, the audacity, the audacity. I'm telling you, I could not believe it. I cannot believe it. Okay, so we know that the two other ones is employee Ezequiel Pereira and waiter Brian Paez have been charged with supplying the cocaine. Paez has been arrested and Pereira handed himself over to the cops. All right. Paez's lawyer, Fernando Madeo, earlier insisted that his client has been the victim of a witch hunt. Him and Rogelio Norris, apparently. You guys, it's just crazy. He said they want us to look for culprits at any price, violating constitutional rights and guarantees, and forming a truth, which turns out to be a false, as is in the case here, accusing innocent people of crimes they haven't committed. That's his opinion. Okay. Well, I mean, if the crime is that he sold drugs, he committed that crime. He didn't kill Liam Payne. Brian Paez and Ezequiel Pereira didn't kill Liam Payne, but because it wasn't the drugs that killed him. But if there's a crime that's been committed, oh yes, my friend, that is very true. There is a crime that's been committed, and you had a lot. They all played a role in this. You know what I mean? Manager says I have arrived. If you've arrived, shout out to you for all those arrivals. Thank you, Manager. I know, right? Witch hunt. If the brew fits, write it. Oh my God. I love this. I never even heard of this one. That's cute, though. Liam's manager, and I love that there's the rightful title Liam's manager, because you are the manager. Okay. As well as the manager of the hotel, head of reception, we know this, have been charged with negligent homicide. But there's another assistant manager, and I pointed this out. And, some of you guys did not show a lot of love to that video. I mean, there wasn't a lot of like, oh shit, we didn't realize it. Okay. The assistant manager is Rogelio Norris' girlfriend, Lula Miranda. She was well aware that Liam was, doing the most. Okay. How come she didn't get charged? She's an assistant manager by title, just like Rogelio Norris is manager. So I do have questions about that. I don't know. A friend of the family told the Sun it's been a very difficult Christmas for them, but they now just want justice for their son. Finally, after a horrific couple of months, there's a feeling like this could be possible. Liam has been in the South American country with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy. Has she given a statement yet? I'd like to know where she at in her mind in this. It took her a while for her to be interviewed, my understanding. So I'd like to know what that was all about. She returned to the U.S. 3 days after, before Liam Payne died. Okay, and that's the hotel employee. So that's what's being said. Now, I'm going to do another video about Liam Payne because first of all, shout out to everybody and I'm pretty sure some of them are in this chat as well. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, okay, or X, all the fans that have dedicated themselves, that are protesting, dedicated themselves to bringing awareness and justice to Liam Payne, making sure that I owe you guys a lot. You know why? Because it was through your guys's digging, it was through your guys's putting things together over there, fans, in the X app. You guys allowed me to be able to report to here so that other audiences over here could hear the information. So you guys, thank you for doing that. And thank you for friending me on Twitter. Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. Okay. And it's really that group of people in those accounts that have allowed justice for Liam to happen. So shout out to them. And it's truly like it says the sharing of videos. It's been amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you. It was a struggle sometimes, but I appreciate everybody. Everybody. You said, is it Taisha? I've been banging on Lula Miranda, but like in this investigation, hardly anyone seems to pick on her. So weird, right? You didn't see a lot of people say, like, hey, what's up with Lula Miranda? I don't know. It seems crazy to me that people wouldn't say something about that. But you know what? Guess what? We're still reporting on it, right? Because I honestly don't know. Yeah, or why not anybody in the hotel? The way it's made it sound like is that they're still doing an investigation, okay? And they could very well charge other people. We don't know. I'm hoping that they do. Hey, Chrissy Love, shout out to you. But yes, but shout out to everybody. I just wanted to let everybody know this news. And there is another video that I'm working on that's a little bit different in the Liam Payne topic, in the investigation, and we got to get into that video, okay? All right, guys. Another piece of information. Shout out to BJ Investigates. If you didn't watch her legal breakdown, y'all go watch it. You guys know BJ will break it down for us. Definitely, you know, that are not attorneys like myself. But I love how she breaks it down so that I can understand it. That's why I love it. Have they up? No, they haven't, Manjo. I don't understand why. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. But they need to change. Okay. All right. We got to talk about this. Y'all see that? Look, y'all already reacting to the title. What's going on this? You guys, I've been behind a little bit of news because we've been, talking about Natalia Grace. And by the way, that's going to be another video to conclude those last 2 episodes. Natalia Grace, we're going to review that in a separate video. Shout out to everybody that joined us. Shout out to Vic for playing that on Discord. You know what I was thinking too? I don't know. I don't think Vic is in the chat. But Vic, that episode with BJ and Bam Margera, we should totally play it on the Discord. I would so love. We need to do a watch party for that. I think that we can hold a watch party in the Discord for that. Are y'all down? Let me know, because I'm down. I'm down for that. Yes. Mar Lugo, thank you for the $9.99. Says, in regards to the fire, I don't understand why they haven't called on neighboring cities to help. I moved to a neighboring city that uses firefighters. They haven't called us to help. Really? Mar. Okay. So like what is the holdup, right? Mar, like, thank you for the $9.99. We gonna go back to the topic of the fires, love. Thank you, love. We will circle back here. And Mana Joe, thank you so much. Thanks for helping to get justice for Liam. No, and like I said, we're not done. We're gonna still bring the alarm on those situations and questions that we have. Guys, it's not about whether you're a fan of One Direction. It's about why aren't we getting the information that we need to? Why are people allowed to change the information? We should all get fired up about it. Thank you so much, Mana Joe, for the $19.99, love. And by the way, thank you so much for that, encouraging words in your email. Thank you, love. It is a mess. Okay. We got to talk about Jayz seeks dismissal of the Teen R case accuser, punishment for lawyer. By the way, Alex Spiro doing the Alex Spiro thing. He did submit the things that he needed to submit. He is asking for sanctions against Tony Buzbee. Okay, that's what Alex Spiro is doing. Rapper points to the accuser interview where she admitted to making some mistakes. He's also seeking sanctions against the woman's lawyer, Tony Buzbee. Now, I don't think in the argument, like BJ was saying, Spiro is just repeating the same shit. The timeline, it's not making sense. Inconsistencies we've kind of already read back and forth, front and center of this lawsuit. Like, there is nothing else to it. He's seeking to have this dismissed, which I think we would expect, an attorney to do, right? That's what attorneys do. Jayz has filed a new motion to dismiss the lawsuit of a woman who alleged that Sean Diddy Combs and the Rock Nation mogul sexually assaulted her as a 13-year-old during the VMAs. All right. So the rapper, who we know is Sean Carter, filed his latest bid to have a judge toss the case on Wednesday, highlighting that what they claim are impossibilities and inconsistencies in the woman's account. Carter's attorney relied heavily on an interview that Jane Doe did with the NBC. That interview was like, okay. Carter's lawyers are also seeking to have the U.S. District Judge, Annalisa Torres, impose a monetary sanction, money, on the woman's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, claiming that he failed to properly vet the woman's story before filing the highly explosive case. Okay, so we know this. We know. And let me ask you guys a question, okay? Now, thank you, Suzanne. Tell them to hit that like button. Thank you. Let me ask you guys a question. If the woman is lying And I do have to ask, okay, if the woman is lying, should she be held accountable for lying? I don't know. I'm just wondering. Sorry. But I do want to know, like, if she is lying, what do you guys think? What should, like, and I'm saying we don't know if the woman is lying, should she be held accountable for lying? And I'm not saying she is. I don't know. I wasn't there, just like BJ said, but I think it's a good question. Didi says, go get them likes up. Thank you for being a member for 15 months, love. Shout out to you. Thank you. The Diddy docket, of course, but we were not there. We were not there. There was something that you posted, Diddy docket, that I like bookmarked too. Okay. And I have to go. I can't remember what I bookmarked. See, this is what happens when y'all, when you're a content creator, you be bookmarking a lot of stuff. And Diddy docket was a bookmark. Shout out to Diddy Docket, who said, Diddy Docket, I have to read your post because I think that this is interesting. What you said, y'all, Alex Spiro is doing the most with just one Jane Doe. We know at Tony Buzbee has another client with the case against Jayz, a minor, John Doe. But now I'm hearing there's a third lawsuit forthcoming against Jayz, and guess what? The attorney isn't Buzbee. Diddy Docket, when I heard this, I said, shut the door and keep talking, because I could not. I said, what? What? Let me read this again. I said, what? You said word? What? I read a mouthful here and I wasn't ready for this. I stopped breathing. I said, what? Okay. Suzanne said, didn't have that on my bingo card. Listen, 2025 just started and these bingo cards are filling up. I mean, 2024, I gave up like mid-October. I did, but here we go. It says, y'all, Alex Spiro is doing the most with just one Jane Doe. We know Tony Buzbee at Tony Buzbee has another client with the case against Jayz, a minor, John Doe. But now I'm hearing there's a third lawsuit forthcoming against Jayz, and guess what? The attorney isn't Buzbee. So we have a third lawsuit and the attorney is not Buzbee. Now, Diddy Docket, with this other lawsuit, I have to ask you, has it been filed, or like, do we know? I haven't seen any filings. We're talking about another lawsuit against Jayz. Diddy Docket, you have always been, you bring the receipts. Shout out to Diddy Docket. If you don't follow Diddy Docket on Twitter, you should, because to me, they're the equivalent of inner city press, because they're up there bringing receipts. Diddy Docket, my love, have you seen this filing? Because I have not. And I would love to see it. I have to say, hold my pearls. Not filed yet. Believe it when you see it, but I ain't never lie. Oof. You hear that? You know that we'll be going live on this, because for the longest time I've been saying, listen, how many Jane Doe's, John Doe's accusers do we have that we know of? For Jayz? Thank you for bringing the hot mess from the hot presses. Thank you, love. And I'm going to be waiting with my eyes open, okay? Because that's what we're going to have to do. Ay, Dios mío. So, in short, Alex Spiro wants to sanction Tony Buzbee and basically make him pay. And that's what the situation ship is happening there. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know what is happening. Now we're moving on to Sean Diddy Combs throwing a tantrum over attention accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangioni receives behind bars on his shit list. Now, I thought, listen, Diddy apparently is he very much likes attention, okay? But apparently, I couldn't believe this. I said, you got to be kidding me. Like, huh? Sean Diddy Combs is throwing tantrums about the attention his fellow inmate, Luigi Mangioni, has taken from him inside their notorious New York City lockup. Remember, they're in the same facility. Okay. Don't forget that what is it? 6ix9ine was in that facility too. So like they just be I'm like, y'all can't, like, what kind of attention? What kind of attention? I couldn't understand this, but I heard this and said, no, I'm jealous of what exactly? Like, why would you want to be in there locked up and being accused of killing someone? But then again, why would you be locked up and, being accused of a RICO charge? Like, you're kidding me, right? This is like, I am losing my mind, stupid news. But apparently, I'm cussing. This is the I don't give a fuck news, but I have to report it. But I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't really know. So I was like, let me bring this here to see where the people land with this. Diddy is jealous of Luigi Mangione's attention. Like the prison is not big enough for the both of them. Really, Tessa? That's interesting. So it's being said. And I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm just letting y'all know. When Combs was arrested for sex trafficking charges, he was the most famous prisoner at the MDC. All right. So he don't like to share the attention. All right. But his reign was short-lived. After Mangione, 26, was arrested for allegedly gunning down Brian Thompson, in early December, he was booked into the same facility as the 55-year-old. Since he arrived at MDC, Mangione, who is being held in protective custody, has become a sensation among the other inmates. So they don't give a fuck about Diddy. They're like, we don't care about Diddy. We ain't sharing our jello with Diddy. We sharing our jello with Luigi Mangione. Not to mention that, Tinkle Tits said, this is Tinkle Tits eye candy. Okay. I know I'm not speaking out of term when I say that, but Tinkle Tits says that he's a little dreamy. I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't think so. Tinkle Tits, I'm sorry if you're watching the replay, love. Shout out to my Tinkle Tits, but I don't know about this eye candy, Tinkle Tits. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. But everybody got different tastes. Jayz is laughing. Yeah, this criminal sensation, says Nebulous. What's next? Look at Pika. Pika's like, I can't lie. He ain't bad looking. Look at. So it's attention seeking. Please keep in mind that Diddy is like 55 years old and Luigi Mangione is like 26. No, H. H says, I can't lie. He's hot. Jenny said, it was said that they're calling him a hero because healthcare is so bad in jail. Oh my God. Y'all are too much. Oh my God. Guys in Rikers not going to care about a CEO, right? Susie Q. They don't give a shit. Okay. So they see this guy as like a hero, right? Oh my God. Miss M said he looks like Kramer from Seinfeld. He really does. He really does. Okay. And thank you, love, for becoming a member. Shout out to you, love. Shout out to you. Thank you. Y'all welcome. Here, hold up. Let me put this down real quick. Thank you, love, for becoming a member. Yo, this is so crazy. Better than Skeletor and his face tattoo, right? Yo, not Kramer. They said that he looked like Kramer. I don't know. I guess he does. I'm not really sure. So Diddy's throwing a tantrum because he's, he don't like the attention over the fact that Luigi's getting all the attention in prison and is being revered as a hero after literally murdering someone on camera. Now, let me just say this. It's interesting because Luigi's being represented by Agnifalo's wife, and then Diddy. Like, they share. They should be friends. Because they got the same attorney and wifey attorney partner. It's weird that they would be jealous of each other. Even in prison, Diddy's ego is getting bigger than life. Combs' reaction comes with no surprise to a former member of his inner circle who was recently financially cut off. He always wants to be in the center of everything. Feels like anyone takes his attention, he doesn't take it well. He gets pissed, and if he has the power to do it, he makes the other person's life miserable. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mary Lee. Tell him to hit that like button, please, and thank you. I mean, what do y'all think? Let me know. Luigi Mangioni, he's not liking sharing attention. He's that one guy that he's like, I gotta have all this attention to me. And I thought that was the stupidest news I've ever read on this channel because I really don't care about what Diddy wants. All right. I said what I said. Okay. I want to go back to go over
your shot here. We know that you
so
guys
we
have
can
to
get
go
to
refuel in
actual
just
things
a
that
moment.
matter.
Julia, quickly, you mentioned earlier when I was talking to you that you could barely hold your joystick to man the camera.
Can y'all hear? Let me know.
Because it was just that windy
Back
when you
to
were
the fires.
over the, I don't know if you remember, it was Palisades, I believe it was, or Eaton fire. Regardless, the conditions sound like they've gotten better. Are you continuing to see
Let me know.
the aerial attack on this particular fire now, the Sunset Fire?
We're still seeing the aerial attack here. The frequency of the water drops from the firefighting helicopters, it seems to have lessened just a bit. But as I zoom out, you can see some of those spotlights. Those are the night sunlights from these LAFD and LA County firefighter helicopters. So we're not seeing anything right now, but I bet you if we could stay on station for a little bit longer and hold this shot, we would see additional water drops. One thing I do want to note, we don't know anything about the cause of this fire just yet, but we did see what looked like a drone flying very close to the fire. It was on the western flank over here about 10 minutes ago. So I don't know if that's an LAFD drone. I don't know if that's part of their firefighting strategy or perhaps part of their investigation into what sparked this. But we're going to try and track down that footage and of course confirm what started this 10-acre Sunset Fire.
All right, Julia Ding in News Chopper 4. I know you're taking off to get fuel, and we'll see you back here once you fuel up. But in the meantime, we're going to go back to Conan Nolan. Conan, this is exactly what you were talking about, the winds pushing these flames down into the flats, into some of these homes.
Right, Runyon Canyon, as we see another, this is in North Hollywood, LA's fire truck, again, part of the strike team that we saw come up. One of them has dispatched, I think, to another location.
That looks so bad.
Yeah, Runyon Canyon.
Hold up.
We're on the other side, Solar Drive, to where the News Chopper 4 was taking pictures. And yeah, it goes slowly downhill, rapidly uphill, because, of course, it preheats the brush ahead of it. And the point is that the fuel is already dry enough. It doesn't take much for it to become combustible.
Point as from KTLA photographer Paul Sanchez, as he's giving us an aerial perspective to the devastation in the Palisades.
Oh
Sky
my
5
God.
unable to fly due to a temporary flight restriction put in place because President Biden is in town. But this is an incredible view of what it looks like from above.
Oh,
yeah, we will have more in terms of an aerial perspective, we believe, tomorrow once the sun comes up and we begin to get a good measure of the level of devastation here. But if you've been watching the coverage, you can deduce, frankly, dozens and dozens and dozens of homes in the Palisades area have been lost. The Palisades Village under siege tonight. Homes along PCH, along the beach, gone as well. One of two communities under siege tonight. Altadena struggling as well, as we saw moments ago. Entire neighborhoods burning, rows and rows of homes from a fire that is spread out of Eaton Canyon into the neighborhoods of Altadena.
This is just crazy.
Multiple massive wildfires are tearing across the Los Angeles area with devastating force. The flames drove.
We know. Oh my God. I'm trying to go to the live coverage.
Those remain the same at this
Look at
time.
this.
Warnings from Coldwater to Laurel down to Sunset, Mulholland to the north.
Yes.
Mandatory evacuations from Laurel to the 101,
stay safe out there.
Mulholland to Hollywood Boulevard. So a lot going on. A lot of officials sending out email updates. LAUSD again closed. Power shutoffs for SoCal Edison. They just emailed us some clarifications, which I read to you. And lastly, just checking in on the Hollywood closures and the traffic I wanted to note, that's one more thing, the traffic around Hollywood in all directions, red on the map. So people, in a good way, are listening and getting out.
That is some good news there, and that they're actually heeding the warnings. And again, with that Hollywood fire, it's called the Sunset Fire. There are two places where people can go, and I do hope that everybody was able to, download the KTLA app so that at least you have the information and can watch the live coverage as you go. And so if you're in the warning areas, maybe perhaps you might want to do that so that at least you can stay in the know about what's happening in your neighborhood and maybe when you can go back. And, I can't wait till we can deliver that news, and hopefully some people will go home to their homes,
Yeah, it will take time as firefighters work to secure the area and prevent further spread. As we look live now, once again from Sky 5, this is the Sunset Fire that started late this evening in the Runyon Canyon area and raced rather quickly to the south down into the Franklin Avenue neighborhood, where we have seen a whole lot of people heeding the evacuation order from LA City Fire to get out.
Oh my
City
God.
Fire on scene with support from LA County, as you're seeing live here, air support. They've got the Hollywood Reservoir very close by, so their turnaround time is a matter of minutes. And obviously, with the weather conditions improving, and that's relative, they're still not great at all. You've got low relative humidities, and you've got gusts that are effective enough to move embers out ahead of this fire. But relatively speaking, conditions beginning to improve from what we saw last night, and they're obviously able to fly, and that's a great piece of news, especially in the face of a situation here in the Hollywood Hills that requires aerial support.
All right, there you see John Fenoglio. He's on the ground there on Hollywood Boulevard, and tell us what's going on, John. It looks like, at least from the air, that they're starting to get a handle on it, which is really good news.
Yeah, that's right, Chair Mike. Really good news for so many residents here who are just running down the streets. We've seen running down the streets with suitcases in their hands. I want to try to paint a picture, though, of what things look like right now. We are at Hollywood and Gardner, Hollywood Boulevard and Gardner Street. And right now, you've got all these engine crews that are staging here at the base of this fire. We have law enforcement. This is LA City, this is LAPD and LA County Sheriff's Department who are here. They are going around trying to get people out and trying to clear these roads, just a crush of people trying to get out of Hollywood. And as we've been talking about, we see gridlock basically from Beverly Hills all the way to the 101 as the fire department is telling people who live below this fire and in the immediate area to evacuate now and head south. So the water drops that you've been seeing from Sky 5 we've been seeing them right here. This is right up Gardner Street, and it's hard to see right now, but we did see orange flames just up that street right there. That is where the fire is located. And I don't know that we can see them right this moment, but we're just being mindful of traffic as well. We can see a little bit of glow through the trees right here. Mind you, we are in the streets, and we're trying to be very careful right here. But again, this is where some of these engine companies are staging right now. It is where
Hold up.
water dropping helicopters are also circling overhead. We see one big chopper right now, right above us. Can you capture that right there? You see that chopper coming in low? Not as good a shot as if we were seeing it from Sky 5, but nonetheless, you can see them right there coming up over the fire, and that orange glow off in the distance. That's where we've been seeing flames.
Guys,
but this stretch of Hollywood Boulevard has been.
Let me mute it real quick. So Serge did post something on his community wall, Serge Del Mar, where he talked about the fact that they're hearing they're safe for now, but there's a lot that has changed. I mean, they're posting pictures of just. Like the moon doesn't even look, it just all looks horrible. Sunset Boulevard, like these places that are like known. Look at this. Like wow, this is not a fake picture. Like you see this and it's just crazy to me. Look at this. It's like the freaking apocalypse. Like, wow. Look at is this the sun, the moon, or what? Thank you. And they're helping with pets, right? Literally, Michael has links where you can donate for pets. Okay, I'll pull those links. Yo, this right here. I've never like this picture. Wow. This one took me out, guys. Mar, the bingo card is burned. Like, oh my God. I can't believe it. Thank you for the 199 love. I wow. Yeah, like the sun is so orange. Like it's on, well, sun is fire, but I'm just saying, like, to see it that way. Let me get those links for the pets. Sorry, y'all. Let me mute myself.
Zone again is Laurel Canyon Boulevard on the west, Mulholland Drive on the north, the 101 freeway to the east, and Hollywood Boulevard on the south side. Authorities are urging people to evacuate if you live within that zone and head south. We are trying to make our way closer to another staging area. We are trying to talk to some of the folks out here, and we're going to bring you another update here in just a few minutes. So Sharon, Micah, I'm going to send it right back to you.
That's great, John. Go get your elements, and we'll see you soon. So as John inches closer to this fire, Sandra Mitchell is on the road, on the move, trying to get to a location where we can connect with her. And once we do, we'll get her on the air. Gil Avis in Sky 5. Gil, this is a remarkable response from a depleted firefighting force, and the effectiveness they've had tonight, something to watch. Gil, are you with us?
Oh, sorry, Mike. Sorry, I was listening to the
you.
Simon desk talking to me about something. But yeah, we're looking at the extent of the fire right now. It's actually a lot less smoke, a lot less flame. Let me come out to a wider
I'll
shot
share
to
his
show
video,
you the extent
Amanda.
of the
Thank
burn
you.
scar there. You can see one of the helicopters flying through the screen right now. But they're really focusing their attention on that southwest corner over here by Waddle's the mansion there. A lot of heavy fire there, a lot of brush still on fire, a lot of the airships dropping there one after the other. But let me take you over here to the east side. This is a concern. I've been listening to this for a little bit now. This is the 1800 block of Fuller. They sent a full response team here for structure protection because there was a palm tree on fire here. We did notice it for a time, dropping a bunch of embers here. It caught the brush under this area here on fire. So fire crews made quick work of getting over there. In fact, you can see one of the firefighters still putting their water up there into that brush to knock down any flames in there. You can see some of those embers still coming off of that palm tree. But there's an apartment complex, a couple of them here off of Fuller. They were concerned that those structures could catch fire, and they ordered an evacuation of those buildings. At this point, so far, no fire in those structures. That's good news. But you can see how far away the embers went to get into those palm trees. So that's a concern for the firefighters, keeping an eye on the area, not just the burn area here, but the extended areas around it. Definitely a concern for firefighters. As I come over here to Curson Avenue, you can see firefighters doing structure protection along Curson because of yet another palm tree that's dropping embers. Here's a look at it there. That's near the Waddles mansion as well. So you see those embers just raining down into this area, and that's a concern for firefighters for sure. And here comes another fire helicopter again to drop water on this fire. But it's starting to look a whole lot better, a lot less smoke at this point, and it looks like they're starting to get the upper hand on this fire.
It's nice to have a look at this, like not even just 2 hours later, and to see what a difference it makes for those water dropping helicopters to be involved in this firefight. I mean, I know that all of us wish that this could have been the case in the Palisades and in Eaton Canyon last night. It just wasn't in the cards for us because of the wind gusts that were going from 80 to 100 miles per hour. It's impossible to fly. But now that even though we're still dealing with some pretty high gusts in the high 20s. We are able to fly here, and you're seeing the air assault doing its job and putting out the hot spots and preventing this fire from spreading even further, which is really good news for this densely populated area and for all of the landmarks that are in this area as well. So good thing that the people of this neighborhood, the residents of this neighborhood, were able to get out and get out of the way for the firefight on the ground, and then also as we see that aerial assault with the water dropping helicopters doing their job too. So you know, a lot of hope at least in this part and with this fire tonight. In the meantime, we want to go to Sandra Mitchell. She is on the ground right now, and she's been trying to make her way through that gridlock. Sandra, give us your location and what you can see when it comes to the Sunset Fire.
Yeah, sure. We are on the Sunset Strip right here in the heart of Hollywood. We're in fact at Sunset and Laurel. Take a look behind me. You're going to recognize the world famous Laugh Factory there. But take a look at this scene. The streets are blocked off. I'm going to tell you, the Sunset Fire that started Curson Avenue up in the Hollywood Hills could not have happened at a worse time, when thousands of people are actually trying to get out of Hollywood at the end of their workday. That's when the evacuation notice came through. LAPD, the fire department, water and power now here blocking the streets. I can tell you, we were approaching from Malibu. We were out there taking a look at some of the devastation there when we got the call that the Hollywood Hills were starting to catch fire. And so we took off here immediately, almost coming out of Malibu into the Beverly Hills area. Then we ran into traffic going westbound on Sunset Boulevard, gridlock traffic.
All right, let me stop right here. So I'm gonna go. I know verticals does suck. I know. And y'all, I love you mods, but you're not expected to be there. If you gotta go handle business, I get it. I'm gonna let it run. I know we'll get trolls and everything, but I'm gonna do a vertical stream. The chat will be live, so you guys can interact with each other, and it's really just to kind of amplify the news as much as we can. I'm sure it's everywhere, but you know, you guys are my subs, so it's for you guys. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna switch it over to vertical at some point. And that'll stream in my interaction, because I have to tend to baby bunny, I gotta put her to bed. It's gonna be like, you know, very minimal. I'll be in the chat here and there, but I wanted to let it run. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know. Thank you. And it's okay if you don't. I mean, I get it, Jojo. Not everybody likes vertical. That's fine. Y'all don't have to be there, or you do, whatever. But I love you guys anyways. So I wanted to do that. But I'll be in and out as well, and I'll be in the chat as well. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. And I mean, of course, we're gonna get trolls. Just expect that. I would just ignore them. Like when it comes to trolls, you have to ignore them vertical. You be getting people in there, you know, free this and vote for this. No, fuck them. Ignore them. Don't engage with them. I literally, that's what I do. I ignore. I don't. You got to block them because they be doing the most. Okay. So I will be back. I want to say maybe in about 10 or 15 minutes. Cool. Yes. I'll see you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts about the rest of these comments and topics that we've talked about. Hit that like button. You know what I didn't get to see was the press conference. So maybe I might play the press conference a little bit in that in the vertical. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys. All right. Bye now. You guys have a great one. Bye. And stay safe. Y'all keep everybody in your prayers. Okay. Bye, guys.